No, Your Honor.
And Miss Leslie.
Your Honor, my jurisdictional challenge is predicated upon multiple independent grounds, each sufficient to warrant dismissal. First, I challenge personal jurisdiction pursuant to Kansas Rule of Civil Procedure. I appear specially, not generally, and have not consented to this court's jurisdiction. The record before this court is devoid of evidence establishing proper jurisdiction over my person as a living woman rather than a legal fiction or corporate entity, as distinguished in Hale v. Hinkle in 1906, and recognizing Kansas jurisprudence. Second, I challenge subject matter jurisdiction pursuant to Kansas Rule of Civil Procedure 60-212, B1. No verified complainant from any injured party has been filed as required by KSA subsection 22-2301 in Butler County Local Rule 3.1. The perpetrated charges arise from actions of agents of the state acting under a color of law, not from a legitimate controversy between adversarial parties withstanding as required by Article 3 jurisprudential principles adopted by Kansas courts in State ex rel. Morrison versus Celebius. Third, I challenge territorial jurisdiction. The alleged incident occurred after I had ceased operating my conveyance and was exercising my unalienable right to travel, placing it outside the territorial jurisdiction of traffic enforcement under KSA subsection 8-244, which by its plain language applies only to licensees who have voluntarily entered the regulatory framework. Fourth, the prosecution cannot establish the corpus delicti of the alleged offenses. As held by the Kansas Supreme Court in State v. Stern in 2015, the corpus delicti rule serves as a safeguard against convictions based on false confessions or statements. One cannot interfere with a peace officer absent of officer's lawful execution of duties. Where the initial detention was unlawful, as it was here due to lack of probable cause, there can be no derivative crime or of interference.